Take out there. Hey, everybody, how we doing tonight? It is Sunday. How we doing tonight? Are you there? Are we still there? Are you guys all asleep tonight? Jennifer, always wanting to be first. Hi, Jennifer. Hi, Lori. Welcome to the party. Karen.
Is your art awesome?
Okay, don't reveal it yet.
Oh, so sorry.
This is a surprise.
Sorry, surprise.
Hey, who else is joining? Dina, Cindy. Hang on one second, I gotta find my glasses here too.
You can talk without seeing?
Well, I need my thingy.
Yes, I understand.
Sorry, folks. I wasn't all ready tonight. Who else is joining in? Kevin and Kevin, actually. Jenny Walker, Claire. Welcome to the party. Hello, Pasadena. WKRP in Pasadena. I think that's Cincinnati. Hey, we're living on the air in Nartsville. Okay, I'm really stretching here tonight. What is everybody grateful for tonight? So thank you, Jenny. Hey, Erica, how we doing? We start every night off with what we're grateful for. So what are we grateful for on this Self-Care Sunday? So we're going to talk about that in a second. Glynis, how are you? We're grateful for wine. I like that. Jeremy, light up the marquee. Jeremy is here with us. Kitty is thankful for sunshine. Grateful for your friends and technology that keeps you connected. Isn't that so important these days? Scotch, that is what I have, Kevin. I have scotch tonight. Online sales. Yes, Gwen, isn't that a wonderful thing? A blue moon. Is it a blue moon, or are you having a blue moon, Claire? Chocolate. Yes, I like chocolate. A day off today. Oh, that's awesome, Adele. Your friend's mother who's sewing face masks for a local hospital. That is awesome. Well, I am entitling tonight Self-Care Sunday. So Sunday is a day where you've got to take some time. This is a marathon, folks. This is not a sprint. This country, this economy, our stores, our health is not going to be fixed overnight. We need to take time in this, where we're going 24 plus hours a day, to have a moment, if not a whole day, of self-care, where we take care of ourselves and so that you can take care of others, so that you can take care of business. And I know the stresses of running a business. I know the stresses of Tracy from Fairbury, right? Fairbury. I'm getting that right. Dennis is joining us. Hey, Rose. So you need to take this time to have some self-care, to care for yourself, and have that moment. So today we had virtual art class is what we did. Virtual paint night. Since we couldn't go out to paint night, we had virtual paint night. And here is my creation from virtual paint night. Because we bought into a webinar. It was a webinar.
It was a Zoom meeting.
Zoom meeting with a paint instructor, and we all, as a family, painted.
Yeah.
Mine, I think, is closer to what it was supposed to be looking like.
I don't know about that.
Any guesses what these are supposed to be before I tell you? What did we paint today? Rebecca's is on one side, mine is on the other. What did we paint today? Any guesses?
Hi.
Octopi. Thank you, Kitty. it was mine that gave it away, right? But that was part of our self-care Sunday. Is we had a 2-hour paint party. So that was part of what we did today for Self-Care Sunday. And why I was running a little late was because we were having a little family time watching Modern Family. So, you're grateful for angry consigners? Or, no, that's what we painted, Rose. No, it's an octopus. It really is an octopus, or it's supposed to be an octopus. But that was part of our Self-Care Sunday, where we took the time off and we didn't phone and we're disconnected from the world for a couple of hours while we painted. And it was a really cool virtual meeting where we got to see all the other people that were painting and their creations. And, there were about a dozen different households painting today on this virtual paint night. And so that was really very nice. I think the only thing we forgot during it is I've been told that there's supposed to be a bottle of wine with these things, is what I'm told when you go and do them in the store. So we should have opened a bottle of wine when we did it, but it was a really nice way to decompress. We also then, in between rainstorms, because it's been raining here in the Northeast today, we got out and took a nice long walk.
Remember that Lux Kelly is doing that online on her channel. She's doing craft for her.
Yeah, and that's actually, that brings me to one of the other things is, how are you connecting with your customers? One of the other stores, Kelly from Lux, Divine Consign in Chicago, or outside of Chicago, I believe she is doing a virtual craft project with her customers, a live virtual craft project. So it was another great way to connect with your customers and do everything. I was talking to one of my restaurant owner friends today that owns a great breakfast and lunch place, and we're talking to them and brainstorming on how they can connect, because they're closed. They do really, really. They're on Cape Cod, but they do calling it a breakfast lunch spot is really not doing it justice, because they're amazing. I mean, and so they aren't even doing takeout now, and to continue connecting with their customers. So we talked to them about doing a baking or making breakfast live, so to give people ideas on how to do things on their own while they're stuck at home, and to give them recipes. So just how can you connect? How can you use these ideas to both decompress for yourself and self-care, because it's about you. You need to take the time to care for yourself on Self-Care Sunday, because this is a marathon, people. This is a long road. We heard from the president tonight that he recommending the physical distancing for all of April. So that's a long haul, and some of us are going to be closed in store most of April. Massachusetts hasn't announced it yet, but we're fully expecting that that's what's going to happen. Hey, Kate, how are you? I see Michelle and Julie and Joanne. How are you, Joanne? So those are things to keep in mind, again, as part of Self-Care Sunday, as part of taking care of yourself, because you can't go another 30 days at the pace you're doing if you don't take a break to take time for yourself. And so it's so important, because we gotta keep going, and we're gonna get to the end of this, because we have survived 100% of our worst days. Let us not forget, we have survived 100% of our worst days, and we will get beyond this too. 100%, every single thing on this list, we have survived, and we will get to the other side of this. It's just gonna be a little bit of a marathon here as we do it. It's gonna take some time. That is correct, Kitty, and it's not. I take no pride in being right about that, but I'm trying to prepare everybody for the road that is ahead. Controlling the expenses you can, and taking care of yourself so we can get to the other side. Because I've talked to a lot of you today. I've been on the phone after paint time and after our walk. We had a nice long walk in between rainstorms. I've spent a lot of time on the phone with you guys today. And, one of the messages I've been sharing is, and I will get, it is part of the detail that I'll get into this week, it is the rise of resale and how we will kick butt when the country comes back to spend. Not just back to work, but we're going to kick butt when the country comes back to spend, because there's going to be a whole lot of freaking money out there, and we're going to work on strategies to prepare for that in the coming days and weeks. And that is a hot agenda item for us when we have a slow news day. Right now there's just too many questions and other things to be focused on what we're going to do in the recovery. But I promise you, the recovery is going to be amazing. I mean, you have no clue how great the recovery is going to be. It is going to be unbelievable. As dark as your days may seem now, we are going to hit some unbelievably awesome days. Hey, Jenny, how are you? Jenny, I saw you in Dennis's view, picture that you posted, and I just thought that was amazing. That's your view, and where you have to be quarantined is not a bad view of life, and that's a view of amazing things. Other people in this group are going to get to see a view like that, because we're headed for an amazing ride here. So thank you for sharing all that. We got a lot to cover tonight, so I'm going to get right into the meat here. Crystal! Welcome, Crystal. Okay, so need to cover another area of the tax plan that passed, the CARES Act, for lack of a better term. Hey, Heidi, how are you? Is relates to 401ks, and we talked about this a little bit last week. But just want to touch back on that, because now that the CARES Act has actually passed, this is what's in it with 401ks. You can take a hardship distribution, which waives the 10% early withdrawal penalty on early withdrawals up to $100,000 from a qualified retirement plan, or IRA, for someone who's diagnosed with COVID, whose spouse or dependent is diagnosed with COVID, or who experiences adverse financial consequences as a result of being quarantined, furloughed, laid off, having work hours reduced, or being unable to work due to a lack of childcare due to COVID. Or the reducing of hours of a business owned and operated by the individual due to COVID. So lots of reasons, including, I love this one, other factors as determined by the Secretary of the Treasury. So if he decides there's other reasons that fit into this too, so be it. So basically any early withdrawals, not that I'm advocating people raid their 401ks or retirement accounts. I'm just going to leave that alone, Crystal. I'm not necessarily having my best hair days, and I look forward to being able to get my hair clipped and done before we know it. It also allows for you to pay tax on the income from any distribution prorated over a 3-year period. And it allows for plan loan limits to be lifted to 100% of the vested account balance, or $100,000. And you can delay loan repayments for an entire year on your 401k. If you're nearing retirement, which I know some of you are, or may even be over 70, and you have required minimum distributions, and it waives required minimum distributions for the calendar year 2020. So that's important. And if you are sponsoring a company retirement plan, you have additional time to meet your funding requirements for that plan. Any contributions that are due during the calendar year 2020 can be deferred till January 1st, 2021. So that's kind of cool. Again, I will remind you, if you have not read the NARTS newsletter, read it. It is, amazing. I keep on getting constant feedback about how this newsletter hit home more than any other newsletter, how you've found just wonderful bits of resiliency built into this newsletter. So if you have not read this newsletter, please read this newsletter. You will get so much from it because you are not alone running this store. Okay. Thank you, Jennifer. I'm glad to hear that you found the newsletter very good. It really was. It was an amazing newsletter, and I just can't stress it enough. I know your inboxes are full of stuff right now, but it's just really important to help you keep your head in the game and help you focus on your goals and where we're going with this. This isn't the end. This is the beginning of great things. Our best days are not behind us. They are ahead of us. So, we want to talk tonight, you guys wanted to talk more about the disaster loan, the PPP, and the disaster loan and the payroll protection program. So, again, the disaster loan, apply for it, okay? You should apply for it. Get it as much in as quickly as you can. For that, it is going to be a great program. They are rapidly accelerating it. They are trying to get things out to people very, very fast. So, as I mentioned yesterday, mine had moved into the role of, it's moved to the legal department to generate all the final paperwork and everything. And that happened in 12 days. I was told normally when it moves to that area, it takes another 21 days. Yes, I'm coming to, won't forget that, Jennifer. It is next on the agenda after this, or it's definitely on the agenda. Don't worry, I am talking about it. Get that in. So I'd be tracking at 33 days. I was told, that, I will see money in my account far sooner than that. The Payroll Protection Program, okay, one more thing. So what they're going to approve you for is half of your gross profit, not your net profit, your gross profit. Sales minus cost of goods sold. They're going to take that and divide it in two, okay, and they're going to approve you for that. Again, loans, you don't want to take a loan over $500,000, and any loan that you take, some of this money that some of these stores are going to get is going to be huge for a lot of you. Okay, regardless of store size, it's going to be, for some of you, this is going to be house buying money. A house or a vacation home somewhere or something. And we'll talk more about it this coming week, but I really want to plan strategies because I know a lot of you, just one tax ID is one application. One application. What I want to get into more detail with is because I know many stores have already, they want figures for the year on the disaster loan application, Alicia. What I'm concerned about for many stores is putting aside the disaster, okay? Many stores were not ready to cover a week, to cover 2 weeks, to cover, to have a tornado, any bad thing happen, okay? We've talked about it, and this is a judgment-free zone, okay? I'm not making any judgments. There's no place for that here, okay? But what I want to be talking about moving forward is if you get this kind of money, okay, that you could go buy a house for and everything, I want to talk about how we recapitalize your business and how we refund your consignor account fund and what we do with that so that you aren't in this position moving forward when things return to normal, and there will be a return to normal. So that is a topic we will be discussing further, but I just want to plant the seed for that because I don't want you to be in that position. And I've talked to many of you about it. Many of you have reached out. the email starts with, I don't want to admit, or I'm ashamed, or maybe I should just close. It's not about any of that, because unless you were thinking of closing before all this happened, there is no reason for you to be closing. There's a reason for you to be figuring out how we're going to get to the other side together, and that is why we are here. The other loan program is the PPP that converts to a grant, which is 2.5 months of payroll. And there will be more on that this week. Nobody is set up for that yet. No one is set out to give up that money. No one is set up to give the $10,000 in 3 days. Nobody is set up for that yet. It will be set up this week. Things will develop very rapidly this week, and I hope that it comes out of I am in meetings all tomorrow afternoon on things, and I hope to have, I don't know that I will for sure have something to report on the accessibility of that tomorrow, but it will be coming from, that part of it will be coming from your local SBA lender. The disaster loan comes from the SBA directly. The payroll protection program will be issued and handled by your local SBA bank lender, keeping in mind none of them know how to deal with it yet, okay, because it's just not there. The SBA actually has 15 days from last Friday to get that information to them. It will happen faster than that. It's going to happen very fast this week because it's going to be a quick thing. The other thing that's been out there with that is technically you can roll a disaster loan into the PPP. It really depends on how much you're taking, but you can roll that in. We'll cover it in a little more detail when we have that, but the payroll protection program is designed around getting America back to work, crediting back, granting you basically 2 months of payroll. The half a month is a loan at an interest rate not to exceed 4%. But we're going to come back to that as more real details come out on that, as the SBA actually tells their lenders what to do with it, and they have not done any of that yet. But I tell you, I have lots of meetings tomorrow, and as soon as I have details, I will have them for you. Everything else in the media and everything on it right now is just a lot of talk, so don't worry about it. But I really want you to hang on to dollars as much as you can. Cheers, Lori. Again, Monday, we're starting a new week. Tomorrow's Monday. So, again, it's a great time for fraudsters. They've been busy all weekend. Make sure you check your bank accounts, okay? I know nobody wants to look at their bank accounts right now, okay, because of fraud, because of the balances aren't going way up. I get it. Totally get it. But it's also a great time for fraudsters. So you want to check to make and the American banking system is primed for fraud, especially with all the money the government's pouring into the system right now. So you want to be checking on that and just, take a glance at it, make sure all the transactions are legitimate. It may also be a good opportunity, if you're concerned about it, to keep an eye on and take advantage of positive pay, which is a feature that allows your bank to only pay transactions that you upload to it daily. So you upload any checks that you write to the bank, you enter, and the bank only pays transactions that you have pre-authorized. So, if you write a check right now and they run down with it, it doesn't work because it's not on the list, but the next day those checks are in their system and they do it. And so that's always a nice system to do. Think about fraud before you have fraud. It happens. There are people in this group who have been taken. I know people, in all sorts of businesses that have had things happen because they never look at it. So keep an eye on that. Keep in mind with your customers, okay? And I know we're all trying to continue to reinvent how we connect with customers, okay? Whether it's with Facebook Lives, whether it's on Instagram, whether it's on our own website. Honestly, it's going to become a combination of all of these, but we're only one person, so pick some focus. And the other thing to do as part of this is build better procedures. A lot of you, Melissa talked about it the other night, where she said, quite honestly, I don't need these people to do all that. I need to cut these steps to make it better. Okay, we don't take glamour shots of our stuff because our price point doesn't warrant it. Okay, but we need to get lots of quantity of things up there and on the on our website so people have it to look for. Okay, those things are really important, and we continue to streamline because of the cost of doing business isn't getting any cheaper. This is the time to become more efficient. So take a look at your processes and procedures. Again, like I talked about last night, be stubborn about your goals and flexible with your methods, okay? How you get something done, how you get something to your website, how you get a website done. Use all the partners the industry has to offer. I mean, all the industry partners are out there offering their help, okay, their financing to help you get through this, okay? They have businesses to run too. But they are cutting deals like there's no tomorrow. So whether you are with Traxia, the Computer Peeps, Liberty, Consign Pro, any of them, they're all great providers. Monkeys with Hats has been doing website after website lately. Angie K has got great marketing materials for you and has been doing Shopify sites for people. Julie got her first sale on one yesterday. So, these are exciting times and things to make happen. So this is Self-Care Sunday, but each day gives you a new opportunity and a new area for focus. And don't try to focus on everything at once. Pick an area and go for it that day, that week. Okay, again, we're in a marathon here. This is not something that's going to be over in a couple of days. We've got days and weeks ahead till we're all on the other side of this. And we want to be healthy, and that'll get us, and we want to be wise, and that will get us to wealthy. Or at least not broke. How's that? Okay? My father, drink this, eat this, so you'd be healthy, wealthy, and wise. Well, we're going to go for healthy and wise right now, and we'll work on getting to wealthy. Okay? My father's loved shows, plays and everything, and one of his favorite all-time ones was Fiddler on the Roof. If I were a rich man, ba-dee-ba-dee-ba-dee-ba-dee-ba-dee-ba-dee-ba-dum. Okay, I'm not supposed to sing for you, but I just had to give you that little thing. So again, we're stubborn about our goals and flexible with our methods. Okay, so then the other big topic of confusion tonight has been unemployment. And unemployment for owners, unemployment for part-time employees, owners who are not corporations. What's the deal? Okay, the simplest is if you are an owner and you are a corporation, and you paid into unemployment, because there are states where you can opt out of it, okay? So if you are an owner and you're a corporation and you paid into unemployment, okay, you can apply for unemployment if your store is closed, okay? Or if you are not working in your store anymore, or if you're not on what people consider TV, like Melissa, where everybody in the state, including the unemployment office, knows her, okay? You can apply and you can collect. That's the easiest person, okay? And you just go to your state's unemployment and apply, and it's a very, relatively speaking, easy process, even though the screens aren't updated. The other people, the owners or LLCs, they were taken care of, or people that opted out of unemployment, are also going to be able to collect on unemployment for the first time ever. Congress made that as part of the CARE Act so that people that that didn't pay into unemployment can get unemployment for the first time ever. That includes you guys as owners. That includes gig workers like think Uber drivers and such. Contract employees, 1099ers, everybody's going to be able to get it. You can't get it yet, okay? Government agencies do not move fast. This bill was signed Friday afternoon, okay? just in time for the evening news, okay, is when this bill passed the House, and everybody got together over at the White House to sign it, okay? All the state government workers in unemployment didn't work all weekend, making the changes to allow for gig workers and such to apply for unemployment. So if you were to apply for unemployment today, your claim would be denied and go through the review. Then you'd have to go through the appeal process. I am recommending to people not to apply until their state systems start being ready for it. I expect that to happen this week, okay, in a lot of states in the country, as states update their systems to be able to handle it so it doesn't kick out as a denial. Because I think it will be taking you even longer if it gets denied to then get your claim paid. Yes, you'll eventually get paid, but it'd be much easier if their systems were set up for it and you could start collecting a check right away. So, and keep in mind, unemployment is going to pay right now. Unemployment is paying your state's normal unemployment percentage, which in a lot of states is about half of a week's pay up to a certain amount. Okay. Hang on one second, Jennifer. So to pay about half of what the wages were up to a certain level, usually somewhere between $600 and $800, is where it caps out on a week. Okay, is the maximum benefit, depending on the state, is usually between $600 and $800. Plus, the government will be paying an extra $600 a week through the end of July for people that are still on unemployment. That extra $600, the states aren't set up for either. Okay, that I expect most states to pay backwards. So I expect like 2 weeks from now, states to start paying everybody that extra $600 on top of their normal unemployment check. I don't expect most states will be progressive enough to have that in this week's checks. So to answer Jennifer's question of how will we know when it's up, I expect to get some guidance from some of my contacts on different parts of the country to give an indication of when that's ready. But I'm expecting most states will be ready this week, by the end of this week, to handle that. They've had to adjust so much in their systems lately, but I expect most states will be ready to handle that by the end of the week because they're getting reimbursed by the federal government anyway, so they don't really care. It's about getting money in people's hands. It's about getting money back into the economy, which is really where this is headed. So, and that's going to be where resale really gets to shine in the coming months. Is there is going to be a lot of money in the economy, a lot of pent-up demand, and a lot of people looking to spend. And being there for them and being ready for them will cover in the coming days. But that's going to be a really important part of things moving forward, is being ready for that. And I've talked to several of you about that today and things that you need to do on that, and we'll get into it as a group in the coming days. But yes, so unemployment's going to be a big thing. They're covering just about everybody. I'm not sure that I put in for my daughter because she had a job on campus at college and that she's been laid off for. But they're approving so much right now. I even put in a claim for her to see if she'll collect. Because they're being so generous with things right now. And we'll see where it all goes. Everybody's supposed to get. Yes, the Michelle, to answer your question on part-timers or people that earn a lot less, yes, unemployment is based on the hours worked, okay, and on their previous income history. So the state has all that information. I mean, the employee plugs that in when they file for unemployment, but their actual state benefit, about half of what they normally, in most states, about half of what they normally would make, okay. So a 20-hour employee is going to get a state unemployment check for about 10 hours, okay, of pay. And yes, they will still get the extra $600. The extra $600 didn't discriminate on whether they were part-time or full-time. The extra $600 is about flooding the economy with money. And it's also, that's what the Payroll Protection Program is about, is getting America back to work and having employers get their employees back and off the unemployment rolls. So while the benefit is available to the end of July with the extra $600, the goal of the country is to have everybody back to work by the end of June. Okay, so that money stops spending at the end of June because they've given employers the incentive to get people back on the payroll. Okay, and yes, I know some of you already know that Susie's going to be like, hey, I'm not coming back until the $600 is exhausted, the extra $600 at the end of July. Well, if you call them back and they don't come back, they no longer get their unemployment check. They no longer get the extra $600. So that gravy train is over. But the goal is to get people back as quickly as possible. That's why the Payroll Protection Program incentive is to get people back on your payroll and off the government's payroll. And that is a huge part of that. So that is why that is, and hopefully that makes sense to you there. Those were the main... Hang on a second. Let me just check my agenda list today. Again, Jerry's with us now. Hey, Jerry. Here's a cheer for Jerry. Yo, Jerry. Yo, Jerry. Doing that dance just for you, Jerry. Everybody else, turn your head away that I did that. But that was just for Jerry. But that is what is going on with that. It applies to new hires as well, as long as they were employed elsewhere, Rose, previously, as long as they have a payroll history. But they're going in an income history. They're being overly lenient to pay every claim. Okay, every claim. The goal is, again, money, 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 because it keeps everything else from falling apart. Okay, so money in people's hands, money out there spending it, people paying their credit card bills, people paying their car payments, people paying their mortgages, people going out to dinner when we can go out to dinner. This is all about keeping the rest of the economy from people making their insurance payment, their rent payments, all these things. It's about keeping the economy from collapsing. So in its entirety. So yes, it's a lot of money. Yes, it's like, what do you mean you're giving... Sally wasn't worth $600 originally, much less getting a $600 bonus while she's unemployed and really doing nothing. She was doing nothing before. If you don't want her to come back, Michelle, don't take her back. Replace the payroll elsewhere. There's a lot of that going on with people that you're not having come back. I've talked to lots and lots of employers about who's not coming back. And I could, if I kissed and tell, I'd have lots of names on this video of people that are not coming back, okay? I know some of these people, that I've advocated to get these people fired for a long time, that I've not wanted them. Kate, the calculation for the PPP on payroll is not 2 consecutive months. It is based on on your annual payroll from February 1st, 2019 through January 31st, 2020. It takes that, it divides it by 12 and multiplies it by 2.5. That's how they come up with that amount. Okay, and if you offer any company-sponsored benefits such as insurance and things, that money can be added on top of that to make that amount even bigger, because those are all payroll-associated costs. But again, with that program, it is important to remember, because the government money and everything is going to be coming back at you so fast. Okay, the government money. Yes, Jennifer, including taxes and benefits like health insurance. The money is going to be flowing so quick. The part that I do not want people to forget is only 2 months of the 2.5 you are getting is forgivable, okay? Kitty, you don't have to call all of them back, okay, to meet the threshold. You have to meet the payroll dollars threshold, okay, of spending on payroll. So that, and full-time equivalent. So you can call 4 people back and hire 3 new ones in your example of 7 people. Okay? And, hey, welcome Lorna! Welcome to the party. You are not alone running this store. Glad you're joining us. And glad you joined NARTS. NARTS is here like this all the time, but we're here like this now on steroids. Okay? This is where you get things answered. This is, while we've created public pages for this, because it's important for the whole industry. These videos that I'm doing are important for anybody in business. They're not, while they have some resale specific things, these are so important for anybody in business. I have been working with restaurants. I have been working with everything to get people back up. If someone quits, we say Mazel Tov. Okay, I'm getting Jewish on you here. During which time, Jennifer? If they quit, they're not going to collect the extra money from unemployment and the extra $600. If they quit after the rehire period, replace them or give Kurt a raise. I heard he's working for minimum wage. So give Kurt a raise in that, and we'll help you make the formula. We'll deal with little idiosyncrasy should the problem come. The goal of this program is to go after fraudsters, okay, and not getting the 2-month credit, okay? It is not to hurt the people. Yeah, we'll give Kurt a raise or we'll hire somebody else. Does the store need to be closed for a W-2 owner to get unemployment? No, Eric, it does not. I actually have owners who've gone on unemployment, okay, while they have kept their a couple key staff members working and on the payroll and getting benefits. So the store does not need to be closed for that to happen. Okay? I mean, and Amy could fire you at any time and you could collect unemployment. So that could happen on a regular course of business, when you're just goofing off. So you never know. But we will get there. The goal of this, at the end of the day on the grant, the biggest reason people won't get that portion is fraud, okay? The biggest problem people will have with their disaster loan is fraud, okay? In getting approved or fudging the numbers. Do not goose your numbers. Be truthful, okay? Honesty is always the best policy. And Eric, a lot of people are doing that. A lot of people have been doing that. So that is totally okay. And you and I both know, Eric, that as things are tight right now with business and sales, you're probably taking whatever unemployment you get and putting it back in the business. And that's just the reality. And government gets that good companies are doing that. Good operators, as my landlord likes to call. He always likes to say, I don't need more tenants, I need more good operators. Okay, is what one of my landlords likes to talk about in his shopping centers. Because he'll go out of his way for a good operator, okay, or he'll leave a space vacant intentionally because, I've got somebody that wants to rent it, but they're not a good operator. So good operators is what the government is looking for, is keep good operators in business. Diana, how are you? Welcome to the party. Thanks so much for being here. So glad to see you joining us tonight. We were blessed with Sue the other night, which was great. Does that mean Laura's not far behind? But we're great to have you all here. But those were the main questions on Sunday. This is Self-Care Sunday. And this is so important, is that you care for yourself, that you take time for yourself, that you rest tonight for yourself. That you take some time to watch a funny movie, that you decompress from reality, because reality is scary. Hey, Suzanne, but we have survived 100% of our worst days. 100%. And we will survive this too. Read the NARTS newsletter. If you have not read the NARTS newsletter yet, please read it. Tiffany, let me read. Hang on a second. I'm reading the rest of your question here. I agree, Tiffany. You got to do what's right for the company, okay, and you and your employee. You know, we worked that last before we just to pay the staff that we covered. Sandra and I covered and tried to make the stores make money while we could, but it was just covering whatever little bit of payroll. It wasn't paying anything else. That is correct. You will get $600 in addition to what you would have collected on unemployment. So whatever unemployment normally you would collect, you are going to get an extra $600 right now, which most everybody here is going to put into their business before they put it into anything else. No, nothing to be sorry for, Tiffany. That's what I hate, is everybody being sorry. Don't be sorry. You're not alone running this store. I am there. I am here to answer all questions. Okay? This is all about us being there to support each other and get to the other side. I answer every question. I mean, I've been on and I've called most of the calls I've all returned. I've done, getting technical here, FaceTimes, because again, that human connection matters. These connections matter, and I take every call, I return every call, I do everything. I'm at it all day long. I'm happy to do it, okay? It's truly an honor to be able to serve you all in this way and to be able to help get us and set the path. And, I've never been so thankful for all the relationships and contacts that I have, because that's where I'm able to get right into the detailed information. Lindsay, you in a true sense, you are absolutely right. I will tell you that my accountant advised us to take unemployment, okay? And he's like, you've paid into it forever. It's time for you to get something from it. If they claw some of it back, we'll deal with it on the back end. He said it'll be a year from now if somebody tries to claw some of it back. He advised me to delete any videos we do. 3 months from now, just go back and delete them. We're gonna and do that. So that is what we were. That is, and I make a lot of my decisions government based on my account. Take everything you're entitled, but also I have a long story, and I'll share it at some point. Many of you have heard my Bruce Purdon IRS story, and it's a true story, and that is why we take it. So take it. You're entitled to it. Tiffany, you can apply for the PP. You can still get the PP payment protection thing. The key with that is going to be when you actually take it. Okay? And basically, you want to get everything ready, but the requirements for getting the grant are based on starting the day that you take it. So you really want to not actually accept the funds until you're ready to bring people back on board, until you're ready to resume normal operations. Okay, and so that's something you want to keep in mind on when you actually take the payment protection, the payroll protection program, is when you're ready to resume normal operations. Take that money. You should be able to even have the disaster loan even faster, and that'll be there for it. Bailey, you know how to reach me. I'm happy to sit with you and Joni and do anything I can for you to make sure that you're getting everything you need, because there's a lot of individual. Keep in mind, guys, I'm doing broad webinars here for you to keep you in the loop and as most educated as you can be. There are a lot of idiosyncrasies to your own personal situation that don't get painted with a broad brush, that don't get covered, that you don't want to post in a question on a webinar. That's why there's ways to reach me. Neil, Neil, at ECIstores.com. You know how to find me on Facebook. Most of you have my phone number. Pretty sure Bailey does someplace. Actually, probably her mom does. So there's lots of ways to reach me. Don't hesitate to reach out to me. I will get back to you. Sometimes, like some of the mortgage companies or something, are saying now it's taking me a little bit longer than I would like to get back to some of you. But I am getting back to everyone. Everybody, there's nobody that I'm ignoring. Okay? Probably just my wife. But other than that, I'm getting back to everybody, and she's probably happy being left alone. Do I pay? Hang on a second, Crystal. Let me hit the button here. Do I pay for past part-time employee, manager of 5 years, even though she was just laid off from her new full-time job of 3 months? Oh, as far as the unemployment benefits, Crystal, are you asking, are they going to be charged against you? Legislation is pending so that none of this is hitting our actual unemployment rate. So that's going to pass. It's not a done deal yet, but it will pass because nobody wants to get charged for this unemployment. And in a normal course, her getting laid off from her new job would charge back to you, Crystal. But in this case, nobody's getting charged for unemployment. It's not going to happen. Yeah, I follow you, Crystal. Yeah, I'm a hero. Well, hey, I'm just a regular guy. Happy to help everybody. And Melissa finally joined us. Okay. Hey, Melissa, I still haven't gotten my Russian red lipstick. I see you mailing all those packages all over the country. And I'm not just going to wear any lipstick. Although, Melissa, hang on. I painted today. It was stress-free day. We had a paint party. This is my artwork for Self-Care Sunday. We had a paint party. And, this is part of what I did. So, it's all good. Cape Charles, Virginia. All right. I'm going to be a popular guy. People are going to buy me some scotch or something when this is all over. It's all good. I do this because I'm here for you. I do this all the time because I'm here for you. Self-care, you went for a run. I saw that. That's perfect. Self-care is going for a run. We went for a walk after it. We actually did, Melissa, you missed the earlier part, but and I'm glad that my art is good enough that you recognized it's an octopus. So, I can call the Louvre and they'll be looking to show my art. But we did a virtual paint party. So it was a webinar and people from all over the country were tuned in and we all did a virtual paint party. I think you could have a virtual taco party one night as part of one of your lives. And that would be awesome. So maybe Tuesday, Melissa, Taco Tuesday with Melissa, and you could be there with a taco and doing it and have everybody at home make tacos. Yes, Julie, in the Russian red, in my Spartan cheerleader uniform, and I was a Spartan. My high school was the Spartans. Go Burn Hills. Okay, we were the Spartans. So, this is getting better and better. I think I'm going to Cape Charles, Virginia. I get scotch and I get a trip away. You're sounding like my best offer all day. I did say to my wife, and she laughed at me today. I said, when this is all over, I want to go on a vacation. And she laughed really, really hard. And then I said, I want to go on a cruise. And she laughed even harder. She said, have a good time. And I love cruising because, especially in the olden days, not so much now. I know they have ways to connect you on a cruise and everything else. They out in the middle of the ocean, you can be completely disconnected from everything, and I really enjoy that. It's part of how I actually unwind and everything else. If you people get me drinking too much scotch or too much martinis, I'm not as helpful to you. One of the times that I knew I was sort of early times that I knew I was kind of important, and this isn't an ego story. It just it woke me up to how valuable the skill set that I bring to this industry was to so many, and how I was able to help so many people. We were actually at a conference somewhere, and in the hotel there were a bunch of NBA basketball players in the bar, and I was sitting with somebody at the bar, and the waitress in the bar came up to me, and she's like, "Excuse me," and she's like, "You see him over there, and him over there, and him over there?" And she was pointing at these NBA basketball players. She's like, I know who they are. She's like, I have a line of women who have all individually sent you a drink. Who the heck are you? And I'm like, please don't send me all those drinks because I won't be very helpful. I might be entertaining, but I won't be very helpful if that many drinks came my way. But it was really kind of comical in the moment. So, and we will get back to all resorts on a beach are nice. You know, my favorite resort, Kitty, was when we had conference in Palm Beach. That was my favorite hotel ever for a conference, and I just dream of a day when Narts can make it back there. Yes, well, it's a month vacation. In like 2 years, I'm going to schedule it with my emotional breakdown. Well, at least, Melissa, I know you'll have an emotional support animal to help you through it. Besides all your kids. I need to try downtown brown lip color. I'm not even going there. You know, I used to think the cosmetic counter was fun in my father's pharmacy. I don't even know what to do with it anymore. A pina colada in the slushy machine right now. I like that. Atlanta, that's right, Eric. That's where that was. It was a great conference. Hey, Paulette, thank you for joining us. Thank you for being there for the industry. Paulette is a great resource as well, everybody. Do not forget her. She's the eBay queen. You got questions on that? Reach out to Paulette, and she will help you with that. So we've come to an end of another great evening here, folks. I will be back here tomorrow at 8 o'clock to answer your questions from the day. I have meetings all tomorrow afternoon, and I will bring you the latest information that is available on all the things, but send me your questions, find me on Facebook, email me, neil@ecistores.com. You, and I'm talking to you, and you, and you, and especially you, are not alone running this store. Have a great night, everybody. It's Sunday, Self-Care Sunday. See you Monday at 8.